Hey everyone, Wander here, and welcome to Ultra Void. It is an incremental, I think, mining game about humanity facing the heat death of the universe, and that sounds interesting, so we're going to dive right in. In a future so distant, it defies comprehension, where humanity endured every conceivable trial. Now arrives the heat death, the inevitable silence. But humanity refuses. Okay, remaining energy 4, pan camera. Hold to continuously excavate. So this is kind of Dixium E. We need to allocate more energy to cut through the asteroid. Let's try again. Excavate again. Okay, so I have enough energy to get the whole thing. Return, a one-way journey. An unusual asteroid suddenly appeared near our home planet. Tracing its trajectory backward led us to a massive black hole, one previously undiscovered by humanity. But nothing can escape a black hole, so there must be something extraordinary about this asteroid. Cutting into it revealed a form of matter that defies everything we've known so far. With the end of the universe drawing near and nothing else to lose, a fleet of volunteers, including myself, was assembled to investigate the black hole, now named the Ultra Void, located just a half a light year away. We know that, due to time dilation, the world and the people we once knew will be long gone by the time we return. But we must know. Our first step is to develop methods to detect materials of similar origin. Only then we can truly begin our endeavor. Okay. New glossary, Dyson Sphere, Heat Death of the Universe, Herschel 36, Mineral, Void Crystal. Okay. Database. We've got some things. So Dyson Sphere, long predicted in science fiction, as a method for a highly advanced civilization to harness the energy of a star. The concept has now become a reality. It serves not only as a more efficient means of energy collection and distribution, but also a way to control stellar radiation, ensuring habitable conditions for planets at any orbital distance. Heat Death of the Universe. Once theorized as a possible ultimate fate of the cosmos, the heat death scenario is slowly unfolding. The universe is gradually evolving towards a state of maximum entropy, where no thermodynamic free energy remains. All stars have long since died, though their light may still take millions of years to finally die off for us. Even supermassive black holes are slowly decaying one by one. While actual heat death is still far away in the future, its inevitability is now undeniable. Herschel 36, one of the youngest stars in the universe, this massive O-type star was selected for humanity's final settlement. Since its orbiting planets were originally inhospitable, a multi-million-year project was undertaken to build a Dyson Sphere and terraform nearby planets to create more viable habitats. Mineral is... oh boy. Okay. Well, no, is a broad term to use to describe components extracted from the crust of the Ultra Void. I actually like the fact that there's a bunch of lore in an incremental game. Why not, right? In reality, it's a complex mixture of many known minerals, uniquely bonded into stable formations. Mineral appears to serve as the structural formation of the Ultra Void's crust. Removing all nearby deposits causes a local collapse to the crust. Transporting significant quantities remains impossible, so these excavated materials must remain in orbit around the Ultra Void and be utilized as needed. And Void Crystal. Discovered unexpectedly on an asteroid, void crystals defy all explanation. They are clearly visible to the naked eye, yet none of our instruments can detect their atomic structure. They seem to simultaneously exist and not exist, as if they were illusions or tricks played on our minds. Okay, Void Tech Research. Void Crystal Proximity Sensor. Detects minerals in 8 blocks adjacent to the targeted excavation block. Okay. Travel to the Ultra Void. You ready to take on the task? Yes, we're prepared. Okay, planetary mining laser, gravitational time dilation. Okay. We have more. Once used as a genocidal weapon, the planetary mining laser is now repurposed to efficiently extract materials directly from orbit, eliminating the need to land and transport resources back into space. This remains humanity's only feasible strategy for exploring the ultravoid without being destroyed by its extreme conditions. Predicted by the theory of relativity and subsequently confirmed, time passes more slowly near the massive gravitational fields. While near the ultravoid, every second experience corresponds to years passing on our home planet. Time here is relentlessly ticking away. The ultravoid is unlike anything observed before. It resembles a black hole, larger than any known supermassive black hole, but with distinctive layers of crust formed atop it. Its internal structure remains a mystery, but humanity is determined to uncover its secrets. I actually had an idea for a story like this where, like, super far in the future, what can I build? Capacitor expansion. Sure. Where, like, far advanced alien or human civilization figured out how to Oh, I see. It's Minesweeper. But we want the bombs. Okay, so descend further, excavate again. I'll do another one of these, but yeah, advanced civilization figured out how to, like, stabilize black holes to the point where you could, like, dredge stuff, like, back out of them somehow. Okay, descend further. Okay, minerals detected 3. And I'm out of juice. Okay, so if we retreat, we can build more excavation power. What is the difference between power of excavation drills by 6? I mean, I guess I'll snag that one. So I'm going to need 12 or 9 if I want to do more. Okay, we can also ascend. There we go. Kind of. I guess I have 9, but I should probably go for 12, though I don't know what the difference is. There we go. Small victory, base durability, void crystal depletion. So some of these I think might be more expensive. Let's take a look at database tips, base durability. Base is constructed to orbit the ultravoid, but without constant adjustments maintained by our presence, it will eventually be pulled into the ultravoid's gravity. When that happens, we must rebuild, hopefully more efficiently. I wonder if that's a prestige situation. Void crystal depletion. Once a crust layer is breached, further void crystal excavation or extraction from that layer seems impossible. It's as though the crystals compress and concentrate exclusively at the breakpoints. Our equipment limits our ability to study void crystals in depth, meaning meaningful progress will require returning to our home planet with advanced resources. Note: there's a huge relief when we finally extracted void crystals from the crust. When our first breakthrough yielded nothing, morale dropped, but now we know that the void crystals do indeed originate from the ultravoid. There must be more to discover. I guess I'll go for excavation power, whatever that means. So we can descend further and keep messing around with this. Well. There we go. Guess we missed 1. Excavate again. Seems like we're getting more. You might get minerals based on the current depth. So, yeah, we're getting 4. And so, because we're on depth 3, we're getting 3 minerals per. There we go. That should be enough for some upgrades, at the very least. And at some point we can go back. Oh, these are getting expensive. Database, tips, layer breaking. Void crystals mysteriously form only directly beneath certain crust layers of the ultravoid. Extraction is only possible within these zones. Yeah, I think returning to the home planet probably is prestiging. Okay. That's going to take some effort. It would be over there. You kind of have to guesstimate on some of these. There we go. I think we got them all. Depth 3 breached and get some more void crystals. Okay, I'm actually digging this. Because, yeah, it's Incremental Minesweeper, which sounds extremely silly. I'll fully admit. But goofed it. It's fine. Oh, no. So I guess maybe this is the... I have no idea. I still don't know what extraction or excavation power does for me. Database. Go from there, deeper layers. The effectiveness of our planetary mining lasers decreases with depth. To drill deeper, we must expand and reinforce our base. So maybe it's one of those that the drill strength just determines what layer I can go to. So we should probably just go for maximum energy if I can manage it. There we go. Yeah, finding that 3 and 4 was kind of a stroke of luck, even if I missed. There's another one over there. But I appreciate that this is effectively... Yeah, Incremental Minesweeper is just a weird idea, and it works well enough. Yeah, I could go back to the home planet, but I still think I'd like to get a couple more before we bail. There we go. There's still 2 minerals left, but I kind of have to just shot in the dark them. But yeah, I love the fact that incremental games are toying with genres, kind of arcade games and classic games that normally don't get a whole lot of, oh boy, they don't get a whole lot of love anymore. Minesweeper, I think it's a fair bit of flowers, all things considered. Did we get it? Yeah, we did. Okay, I think now we probably bail, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get more. Let's return to home planet. Well, bases will crumble, and the minerals can't come with us. We have no choice but to return. Return to the home planet from the Ultra Void for the first time. This gets me some more stuff, presumably. So, Lightspeed Travel, Last Age of the Universe, LAU. And then Generations Beyond. We got some stuff to read. The current council members were born long after we first left, yet are now older than I am. They welcomed us home with hospitality and bid us farewell. This will be the first and last time we see them. Lightspeed Travel. Since an effect cannot surpass its cause, it has long been argued that matter cannot travel faster than the speed of light. This principle has never been disproven, but humanity eventually developed technology enabling faster travel at the speed of light itself. With advancements in resource utilization, lightspeed travel has become more than adequate for occasional interstellar voyages and Last Age of the Universe. Unlike usual chronological markers, the Last Age of the Universe, or LAU, is recorded as a countdown synchronized with the remaining lifespan of Herschel 36. As humanity approaches the end of the last star's life, this method of measurement makes more sense. Though it resembles a doomsday clock, the LAU serves as a constant reminder to cherish every remaining moment. Okay, so we want to do void tech research, because I should be able to afford a fair bit. Base capacitor boost Let's see. Excavating a block with no adjacent minerals triggers a chain reaction. That's the one we desperately need. We'll grab the other one too. Yeah, so we're effectively just unlocking Minesweeper mechanics. This is extremely silly, but I love it. Just because Minesweeper is kind of a fun premise, and incrementalizing it makes it just kind of fun. Surprisingly, despite minimal time passing by the ultra-void standards, void crystals reform in our absence, almost as if our observation prevents their regeneration. Let's see. And I don't think I have access to lower depths, but that's fine. It would be over here. Yeah, so I can actually use the logic that I know for how Minesweeper works to ideally clear things out. Means one's there. There's none here. Could be here. And there we go. Because, yeah, there's an actual logic to how Minesweeper works. I'm trying to find a blank spot. Can't be there. So there's one there. And there we go. I guess I might as well retreat and build. And we just want capacitor. Okay. So if you've never played Minesweeper before, I guess I'll give you a basic tutorial. This means that there is one mineral somewhere in this thing's adjacency. Found it. Let's see. It means there's something nearby. Something nearby. Something nearby. And something nearby. And you can kind of guess where it is based on how these tiles get removed. Oh, we don't have enough power. So this is why we need the drill power, which is totally fine. So we might want to actually stay on depth 4 for a little while. Means there has to be one there, probably one there. There's some things out. Okay, if this has to be connected to something, that means there's something there, probably something there. Unfortunately, it doesn't reveal everything. Just excavate again. Okay, what I'm looking for are these blank spots, if I can get them, because that gives me a lot of hints as to where things can be. Two minerals left. One, eh. And yeah, I'm not the best in Minesweeper, but I at least have kind of a vague idea of how to do these things. Oops. Yeah, beginning excavation. Yeah, I didn't want to go back yet. Okay, so that means the two crystals are there. There we go. Oh, we managed to get it. But we're going to excavate again. I wonder if I can actually farm void crystals off of a layer I've already mined. It's certainly possible. No. No, I did! So yeah, I can actually refarm a layer that I've been to. Okay. So, I guess to explain some of the logic, rather than just kind of leaving these things here, this means that there has to be 3 crystals touching that. Now, it could be here, here, and here, but that's unlikely. Because this only has one touching it, and this only has one touching it. Unless there's 1, 2, and 3 right here, chances are that means that there's 1 right there. This goes down to 2. Because this is 2, 2, and 1, this is only touching 1. This has to be touching 2. So one of the crystals, I'm wrong. It has to be there. I don't know, man. Sometimes I'm good at these things. Sometimes I'm kind of bad at Minesweeper. I guess there's a number of, like, coin toss things, but I'm not exactly the most well-versed. Do you want to descend? Sure. I'm not going to get all the crystals from here, but that's fine. I don't need them. I do wish that there was actually more blank space. Okay, this has to have 2. That has to have 1. Nope. At least we're getting a decent amount of resources from this. But yeah, I like the excuse to finally... I like having the excuse to play Minesweeper as a YouTube video. Because I don't generally get that... I don't generally get an excuse to do so. It's usually one of those games that... did I do that? It's usually one of those games that I don't have a reason. Let's see. There's one over here-ish. And probably one right there. And one right there. There we go. Cleared that out. So it does give me 3. Let's retreat and probably build another capacitor expansion. Unfortunately, that only increases the amount of energy I have by 1, which is a little tricky. I wonder if there is actually a lost state on this one. I don't think so. I think the developers said it was like 1 to 2 hours to beat the whole game. Okay. At least I'm getting a decent amount of minerals, so I can go from here. I wonder if there actually are more blank spaces as we go down. Cripes. Okay. There we go. Yeah, we're still just getting a lot of minerals rather than... what I need. I guess I'll go for excavation power. Descend. Otherwise, we could go back up to 4 and farm it for some more void crystals. What I should have done was actually looked at... Oops. I should have looked at the cost to buy more upgrades. Yeah, honestly, it kind of seems like pick a depth that you can reliably clear. So you're farming both minerals and... Let's see, both minerals and void crystals. But chances are the ending of the game... I think it's 16, that should be good enough. Let's see. That ramen stand. Despite everything, the ramen stand is still there, with a slightly refreshed look. I ordered one, and it tasted exactly as I remembered. Has the owner passed down the recipe through generations, or is it just a classic well-known ramen formula? I didn't ask, it was delicious, so I ordered another. Okay, Void Tech Research. So, what do we want to do? Oh, structural collateral damage can propagate infinitely. One additional supplementary drill targeting random blocks. Laser damage can now be expanded to hit a larger area. Damage is distributed amongst targeted areas. Let's see. High density mineral blocks can be found. Base excavation power. Let's see. Secure storage of 10% of excavated minerals, so maybe it lets me keep things. Oh, this is tough. I have 16. Because splash damage in the supplementary drill would be good. The structural collateral damage is really tempting. Otherwise, I could do rich mineral excavation, void crystal power supply, and that. I think I'm going to go for propagate indefinitely. And let's go for the capacity by 2. I don't know. I just Minesweeper is fun. I guess is the easiest way I'd put it. And so it's one of those where it's like, I like having an excuse to play Minesweeper. Let's see. Descend further. We'll see how it goes. I think that is the one charm of incremental games. I mean, one of the many charms of incremental games is that it kind of takes those classic arcade games and I wouldn't say breathes new life into them, because I feel like that's... I did not guess correctly. Unfortunately, trying to do commentary while also playing Minesweeper is very hard, because the whole thing is a logic puzzle that you have to pay attention to. And if you're, like, zoning out or talking about other stuff, it's tricky. But yeah, adding that level of, like, I mean, more or less meta progression systems that you're slowly unlocking new features for whatever the game is. It kind of gives you that little bit of Skinner box you need to go back and play things. So, like, I like Minesweeper, but I'm never going to play it on my own because I've kind of already gotten the novelty out of it. But slap an upgrade system on top of it, and all of a sudden I care about Minesweeper again. Same thing with Asteroids. You know, I just finished playing, I'm just shooting in the dark here. There we go. I just finished playing, oh, brain, which game is it? Space Rock Breaker. It was like a 2-hour-long experience, but it is effectively Asteroids, but they slapped a talent tree and Plinko on top of it. And it was great. I really enjoyed it. Oh. Let's just retreat, build. I should probably boost my excavation power, but oh well. There we go. This is what I've been hoping for. Okay, can't be there. Can be there. There. There? And descend further. And I also appreciate it. This is one of those things that I complain about often with incremental games, is that there's a kind of critical lack of... Oof. A critical lack of not progression systems, build crafting. Not that this really has it either. Every single talent is purchasable. But I only have so many of these void crystals that I get to spend every once in a while, and so I'm making choices on what to pick. I still would prefer it if there was like a greater sense of like, no, this is what my build is. Let's see. Got it. Let's retreat out and build up. I don't know if I'm going to need another one of those, but I'll grab it anyway. And so right now I'm mostly just trying to boost up this cascade effect, so it triggers as much as I can, as much as it can. Let's see. It cannot be there, so it's probably here. There we go. I'm getting better at guessing. Because yeah, it's Minesweeper but in reverse, and I'm not quite used to that. Purely on a conceptual level. Yeah, since this is empty, that means neither of these can be bombs. I think that's the problem, because this is Minesweeper in reverse. Normally, this is the thing you'd want to click on, because you'd know this tile is safe. But it's, in this case, not. We know those two have to be it, and I'm pretty sure that one does as well. Let's see, 2, 1, 1. One there, one there, one there. There we go. I like the collateral damage propagation. That feels very good to me. Alright, build up, get a little bit more capacity. Unfortunately, it is getting more expensive. Oh, Did I pick level 5 again? I guess it's fine. It doesn't really matter. So once again, each of these corners is a number, so we don't want that. There we go. Alright, descend further. I'm getting the hang of this. Oof. Oh, this is rough. I'm just shooting in the dark here. Can't be here. Probably there. There. We're just getting whatever minerals I can get. Yeah, if my first click only reveals a thing. That's what I'm looking for. And I have just enough energy. Perfect. Okay. Let's just excavate again. I don't think I'm going to be able to go much further past 6. Alright, this is a good one. Misclicked. There we go. It means it's that, this, that. One left, and I'm pretty sure it's right there. Perfect. Okay, excavate again. How many void crystals do I want? A lot of them were like 8, 3, 10, and 16. I think if I go back at like 40... Oh boy. That was bad. Yeah, I'm just trying to get things to... Ooh. Oh my god. That went extremely poorly. Two minerals detected, but I only have one money. Alas. And it's okay. Like, I don't need... Okay, I give up. We're retreating. Build. Give me another capacitor upgrade. Oh boy, they're getting expensive. Let's do another. I don't think I'm going to... No, at this point... Yeah, no. Retreat, excavate, ascend. We're just going to stick to layer 6 for the time being. Let's see. It can't be there. So it has to be there. This has 2 associated with it. There we go. Unfortunately, a lot of those blocks weren't getting destroyed, which is holding me back a little bit. Okay. There's 1. 2. There we go. Okay, 1, 2. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a couple of remainder blocks that don't get cascade destroyed. And that's giving me some issues. There we go. I'm actually really digging this music. It's got a really nice post-rock flair to it. There we go. Okay, do we think this is enough? 34. Let's do it 2 more times. Let's go back at 40. They'd said seconds here was the equivalent of, like, millions of years back home. That's messing with my brain a little. We're not going to be able we'll get this one. And there's 4 minerals left, and I kind of goofed it. It's okay. I guess I could maybe buy an upgrade. No, wait, no. The next mineral upgrade is very expensive. Wow, this has just been shooting in the dark. No functional information. I mean, maybe I could have done a little bit more. But yeah, I need just one blank space to show itself. In that exact configuration, and then things get a lot easier for me. Okay, did we get it? We got it. Yeah, I need those cascade effects to work better. I'll have to see about splash damage. I wonder if it's one of those that scales off of, like, excavation power. Probably. One left. Yeah, it's when I get those rounds where I just, like, click number, click number, click number. There we go. That's what I needed. Okay, 2 minerals left. Might be here. There's 1 there. And it's right smack dab in the center. Alright, that should give me 40. That's good enough. Go back to home planet. Database. Staying behind. Many remain on the mission because the world we once knew is gone, yet some choose to stay behind when they return. I asked one crew member why. He said this was his chance for a fresh start, an opportunity to experience an entirely new world filled with possibilities, to truly escape his past. I waved goodbye. Okay, Void Tech Research. So, yeah, did these get more expensive? No, they did not. That's pretty good. Okay, secure storage. Reveals up to 5 mineral deposits. Recharges 1 unit of energy when the main drill activates 2 minerals. Supplementary drill and splash damage. So we definitely want the mineral locator. Activating a mineral triggers a localized energy blast. Excavating a mineral initiates a larger cascading explosion. Like, some of these are actually awesome. Let's see. Do I want to recharge? It's tempting. Yeah, do I want splash damage? I think I'm going to go for supplementary drill. And do I want splash damage? Sure. Splash damage plus the Void Crystal Amplifier should be pretty good. But it's fine. Let's see. Excavate. One thing I'm really liking about that talent tree that we're spending the Void Crystals on is that most of the upgrades are all kind of about the same price, and the more expensive ones are substantially more powerful. A lot of incremental games have it in such a way that it's like, here's the damage up. Here's the T2 damage up. It's the same amount of damage up, but it's more expensive, so you just want to buy the cheaper one first, and then once the new damage up becomes the cheapest one, then you buy that. Build crafting means a lot to me. Okay, so we can change drill power. So I can change the area. But honestly, just knowing where minerals are for as kind of like a get you started thing is huge. Especially because it goes for 5 minerals. And yeah, I like that localized explosion. We definitely want to get up to 18. Like, start trying to get some of those chain reactions going. Okay, let's retreat because we've got some things to build. Oh, impact point damage. So we've actually unlocked some new things. So efficiency of the supplementary drill goes up. But let's go for a couple of those. All right, and go back to excavation. Yeah, I love the fact that unlocking those meta progression talents gave us a small degree of or more things to invest materials into. That just feels extremely good. All of this feels extremely good. It's so nice having an incremental game that is just, I don't want to say necessarily clever, because clever is kind of, it's dismissive of other people's work. We're out of juice, but it's fine. Let's retreat, build excavation power. Go from there. Begin excavation. I guess what I say, it's an incremental game that it feels like it did its homework. And as somebody who is a little tired of a lot of incremental games, it's nice to have an incremental game that has a semblance of build crafting. I recognize that this game itself is extremely short. It's supposed to be like roughly an hour long, or an hour or two long. And so, you know, I should not expect it to be terribly deep, but having, you know, a bunch of new things to invest my resources into makes for a compelling experience, and I love that. Okay, it's going to be there. We're getting to the point where not all of the materials are visible or revealed anymore, but it's fine. I think we just want to stay here for a little while, buy some more upgrades. There we go. Clear it out. Because, yeah, I can farm this one comfortably. And we're getting 3 void crystals every time I do so. What I should probably do is actually go back and buy some upgrades to smooth things along. Or smooth things out even further. Yeah, I can do this in almost no clicks. Let's retreat. I've got 228. Alright. Let's descend. Because ideally we'd like to get to the point where we're clearing 7. Because I'm pretty sure you get void crystals equal to the current depth divided by 2. And so... Missed it. So ideally we want to stay on a odd depth if we can. I'll have to see how much energy I still have left after this. Let's see. 147. Let's retreat, build. Yeah, main impact point damage per range expanded by 5%. Okay, let's mess with this. So is this the most I can get? So 22 or 8 times 3. The main problem is I don't really need the AoE in retrospect. All I need to do is aim for the crystals, and then I get the underlying logic of how Minesweeper works. So, the actual AoE stuff isn't as useful. Let's descend further, see if I can do depth 7. Okay, because we know one has to be there. Whenever you have a corner like this, where there's nothing on any side, and it's only touching one block, it has to be there. Which makes it easier to suss out. This one's a little tougher, because it could be here or here. Because this is a 50-50, and none of these give me any specific information. However, we do know can't be anything there. So that means there's probably one there, one there, one there, one there, and then one there. Yeah, nice and easy. No, I still get 3 void crystals. Well, let's go down to depth 8, see what I can do with it. Okay, when this is 2, there's not much I can do about it. Yeah, so I think depth 7 is kind of my upper limit, especially the fact that I'm burning a lot of energy here. Let's see. Let's go back to depth 7, because I think that's the point where I'm most comfortable. Okay, so that has to be 1. That has to be 1. That has to be 1. Let's see. There we go. I figured that was just a 1 that was still sitting around. There we go. If I retreat, build... I'm just shy. I'll give myself a bit more energy, but yeah, getting 288 for the supplemental drill power isn't a bad move. Because yeah, if we can get that supplemental drill so that it occasionally wipes something out for me, that'll give me huge, kind of huge boosts. Like nothing? Yeah. I don't like it when it does this. Where you have a couple of these, like, leftover blocks that aren't going away, because then it's just like, oh, what are you? I have no idea. But yeah, I like the fact that a couple come pre-revealed for me, just purely from the perspective of, oh, it makes it so much easier to get a foothold. Because otherwise, with a number of these, I do end up feeling like I'm kind of blind guessing in a bad way. And so this gives me a nice start. Obviously, kind of cheatsy as far as Minesweeper goes, but this is not Minesweeper, this is reverse Minesweeper with meta progression. Okay. And that alone makes for an interesting experience at the very least. Okay, build, boost this up. So that's currently... yeah, efficiency of the supplementary drills effectively does a portion of my main drill damage. So actually in that case, increasing my excavation power a bunch isn't a bad move. But yeah, so it means it does 30% of my regular damage to a random block whenever I do this. Okay. I don't like it when that happens, because then I'm lost for a bit and don't quite know where my access points are. Yeah, when I hit these and it doesn't give me a buffer zone around it like that. It gave me something. Not amazing. Okay. There, that has to be 1. That has to be 1. That has to be 1. Yeah, we're good. Also, giving this a post-rock soundtrack is just like an instant way of catching my attention. I'm a huge sucker for this exact type of music. Okay. There we go. I'm getting pretty good at smacking through these. Do we think we retreat? I think we retreat. Home planet. Above 40 is usually pretty good at grabbing some more stuff. Lost Tunes. I was shocked to discover a newly boarded crew listening to music genres that were popular in my youth, but have since faded away. Still, these styles have made a huge comeback, with even more songs produced in this genre. Perhaps history repeats itself after all. I'm just glad to hear those notes again. Okay, Void Research. So, honestly, starting with base excavation power is going to be kind of useful. This drill can now be further expanded to hit a larger range. You know, that wasn't as good as I'd like. Destroys a total of 2 additional, deploys 2 additional supplementary drills. Let's see, recharges energy. We want the cascading chain. Let's grab the supplementary drill. Do I want more mining power? Yeah, high density mineral blocks. No, I think we grab the rich minerals, because that unlocks a couple new things for me. Yeah, because splash damage wasn't as good as I'd like it to be. Ensures the discovery of rich minerals at each depth interval, if available. Okay, yeah, let's grab that. Well, I like those explosions. If we're lucky, this will speed things along dramatically. So is it the depth level divided by 3 then? Or 2? Well, because we're on 3 and we just got 2 crystals. Okay. But I thought 5 was giving me 3 crystals again. Okay. Yeah, I just didn't have enough juice. But we did get a rich mineral. So we can build some stuff. I don't know how good that is exactly. Database, glossary, rich mineral. Term describing highly concentrated deposits of mineral found in the ultravoid's crust. Though generally small and initially undetected by our equipment, rich minerals contain vastly greater material density than typical mineral blocks. Their atomic structure defies current understanding. The atoms are incredibly large, an unstable condition under normal circumstances. However, under extreme gravitational forces, they remain surprisingly stable. Take them out of that, they probably explode. Just instant kaboom. Well, those upgrades made a difference. Descend further. Oh man, that cascade explosion is huge. I don't know if I can scale its damage or if it just scales based off of my current drill level and nothing more. One way or another makes it very easy for me to get deeper. Let's retreat though, because we've got some things to build up. And yeah, we don't care deeply about the endpoint, the impact point. But yeah, now we're starting to get cascading destruction. Admittedly, there's some level of, I don't want to say diminishing returns on it, as the harder the block depth. Okay, is it 4? Perfect. So we might want to stay on depth 8 for a while. The deeper I go, the tougher the blocks. And the tougher the blocks, the less that cascade effect is, like, effective. However, it's still pretty effective. Because, yeah, I'm actually mining out multiple blocks. Potentially even multiple crystals simultaneously. Especially if they're in any of these, like, pre-damaged spots. Which makes my life considerably easier. Oops. As I'm not using nearly as much stamina to get where I want to go. And yeah, those random, go there, go there. Yeah, the random additional drills are doing an incredibly good job at weakening things or even occasionally smacking a crystal deposit after the chain reaction has weakened the blocks down. Like previously I was kind of like, it's only 20% of the damage done, but now it's, well, I think it is still 20%, but it's 20%, but on previously weakened blocks. I think I'd probably go for supplementary drill damage, so we'll keep going. Oh, I should actually take a look. 864. Oh, so if I'd actually just done one more excavation, I would have been fine. Then I think we can go down another level. Because, yeah, each of these blocks that is turned red is now a vulnerability that the supplementary drills can target and actually have, like, a greater impact. They're also substantially stronger as the number of available blocks goes down. Okay, let's try depth 9. As long as I'm not wasting multiple clicks to destroy a mineral deposit, everything else is frankly hunky-dory. Yep, looks comfy. And yeah, ooh, that's a bunch. Do we want to descend further? I think so. Unfortunately, I don't know if there's a visual difference between the different layers. Or not the different layers, the high-value crystals. Yeah, I think we're going to run out of juice on this one. No? We got it. Barely. Did that only give me 4? It did. Alright, let's retreat. Endless endeavor. The excavation's been going on for so long. We've made some progress, discovered new uses for the void crystals, and each time we return, we delve deeper into the ultra void. But how long must this continue? Is there a real meaning to it? Or is it all a dead end? Crews come and go, some left behind friends and family, some even died for the cause. Is there truly a point? Still, there's no other mystery this vast universe offers. We will press on. Okay, so I think I want to save up for this one. The supplementary drill damage would be nice. I guess I'll get a capacitor upgrade. So 1728 is the next we were going for. So excavate. I'm going to try descending. Do I do enough damage? I do. Yeah, the problem is there's 21, which is tricky. Does not help when I miss like that. Let's retreat. Excavate. Let's just ascend. Stick on layer 10 for a bit. Because it seems like layer 10 is just vulnerable enough that I can make better inroads with it. It's just a matter of figuring out where. There we go. Every once in a while there's a stinker and I'm like, I'm not really sure where that one is. I have to take a longer pause. Oh, ran out of juice, one shy. Because I actually have less stamina than we have minerals to break. Which means I need these cascade hits to actually work in my favor. Otherwise, we can't clear it. Which is very funny, and honestly kind of cool. We should probably go buy some more Ultra Void meta progression. Ow. It's here. What am I doing? Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm also getting a little tired. That's fine. If we retreat, we can build. Probably just boost that power. Because the bigger the power, the bigger the... I believe the bigger the splash damage. But then the more effective those additional drills are going to be. Which is very much what we need. Yeah. I'm not getting this one, I don't think. Yeah, I ran out of juice. Which is why I should probably just stick on layer 10. The thing is just the stamina disparity. You know, the fact that I have 17 energy but 21 crystals to pop. Means that until I can get more energy capacity, there's kind of no reason for me to be on those lowest levels. There we go. What do we think? Do we retreat? I think so. This is enough to buy like 3 really good upgrades. And I've got some low-hanging fruit. Message through time. Caught a glimpse of the captain's solemn expression and asked about it. She told me she somehow received a final message from her son, passed down through the generations. Might be a fluke, but she believes it's real. When I asked what the message said, she grimaced again and replied with just 2 words ending in U. Guess what? Okay. Void Tech Research. So can we get... We have a lot of options here. The supplementary drills, I think, have been... Oh. Let's see. Yeah, so the supplementary drills have been probably the most valuable that I've encountered so far. So I think I'm going to grab that. We also want to increase my power. Overall output by 50%. Yeah. Doubling power is really tempting. Minerals synergy is also extremely good. Void crystal yield per layer by 1. Oh no. We're getting to the point where we actually can finish this. No, I have to go for that one. I want this one, but I need the other one. Okay, Void Tech Research. So I need 18 plus 10. I need at least 28. 44, because that doubles mineral output. I think we need 44. Let's shoot for more than that, though. Because those 3 upgrades are going to be, no joke, huge. Okay. So descend further. As why I like the cascade effect. And yeah, we're getting more void crystals. So are we now getting 1 void crystal per level? No, those still 3. Okay. Still huge boost, all things considered. I forgot the rules. Okay, let's retreat. I should have enough. Because we want to get a couple levels in that. We want to get a couple levels in that. We want to get a bunch of levels in this one. And then the bigger my excavation power, the better. I haven't unlocked any more talents. Or talents, material upgrades at the moment. Which is a bit of a shame, but I understand it. Yeah, just watching everything explode quickly is very satisfying. So, ultimately, the bonus we got only gave me, like, 1 extra void crystal, I think. That's still very good. Okay, descend, begin excavation. I mean, one way or another, we are cruising along compared to where we were at, which is very much the general appeal of incremental games. You know, you go from nothing all the way up to being kind of effectively god of whatever universe you're in. Let's keep descending further. I have no idea how deep I can go. I'll also say, really digging the sound effects of breaking things. Okay. We're actually getting to the point... I could also just go get those upgrades. But why? When I'm doing so well. Okay, 1728 is the next one. Yeah, I could go back and buy some upgrades at this point. We've already hit the requisite number that we needed. But if I'm doing this well, I think I'll just go until I kind of stall out. Yeah, those supplementary drills are just so good. Okay, descend further. There we go. Yeah, unfortunately, do not have enough energy, I think, for all of this. But maybe we'll be okay. Got it just barely. So I think we stay on Death 12. And go from there. Build up. Probably just go for excavation power more than anything else. Reason for excavation power is mostly just it makes the supplemental drills more powerful. Possibly also boost my cascade explosions. It's a little difficult to tell. And that's fine. I guess honestly boosting the supplementary drills at this point is probably the most valuable. Let's see. I wonder if the rare materials spawn guaranteed the first time you go to a new layer and they're way less common after that point. That's probably the case. There we go. Yeah, the supplemental drills are also doing a really good job of revealing things, so I don't have to worry too much about... I don't have to think about guessing anymore. The supplementary drills and the explosions, I guess. I also wonder if the supplementary drills will, like, double stack onto a tile. So that if if there's only 2 tiles left and I hit one of them, do they all hit the same other tile? Because it kind of feels like that's the case. This is like the easiest game of Minesweeper I've ever played. Okay. Let's do one more and then go back and see what I can buy. I kind of feel like we're just gonna... This is going to be a one and done thing. Usually I cut and move on to like another episode, but I think this is one of those where I don't need to. Okay, this is definitely getting tankier. We're making progress. There we go. Okay, yeah, let's retreat, go back to the home planet. Okay, Void Tech Research. So we want... We definitely want this one. Mineral synergy is going to be extremely good. Probably would have helped me earlier. A lot, actually, but that's fine. Oh, and we definitely want this one. What's the last upgrade I can buy? Yeah, a number of these are kind of expensive. I've got 25. Could I possibly get 2 upgrades? Yes, durable storage and splash damage 2. Prevents destruction of built infrastructure. Oh boy. I mean, it's fine. Rebuying all the infrastructure really isn't that big of a deal. Oh. Yeah, it's okay. Let's see. So we want to... I mean, I guess just excavate. Descend further. But yeah, keeping all my upgrades between rounds is going to make a lot of this so much easier. However, I'm not really feeling particularly held back by the fact that I have to start over fresh every time we go home. Okay. You know what? That's probably enough for a hell of a lot of upgrades. That's probably enough. Especially because we're getting to the point where I'm not losing energy anymore. Okay. Because every time I break a mineral block, I get an energy back. Which was one of my, like, primary things that was slowing me down previously. And, it ain't slowing me any further. Or at least not as much. There we go. I didn't even hit the right tile. I have, what, 10,000? Okay. Don't know. I guess it's because we're probably getting a lot of rich mineral deposits simultaneously with, let's see. Rich material deposits simultaneously with, the doubled currency. Yeah, 4,200. Oh boy. And so yeah, we no longer really have to worry about the capacitors nearly as much, because I'm not even running out of power. It's mostly just the question of how far can I go before these things become too tough for me to cull. But even that's not a problem, because doubling my damage probably broke the scale. Well, broke. Hard air quotes on that one, but kind of messed with the scaling in such a way that it's not a problem. We might actually be able to just clear this out. I'm going to keep boosting those supplementary drills. Still, the deeper we go, the more costly, the more stuff I have to clear through, and the less likely I'm going to be to just know where everything is right off the bat. Though it's pretty easy to figure everything out. And it really does help that I have just a bunch of chain reaction bonus effects. Let's see. Let's retreat, build. We're looking for 15,000. Or we go back and spend some void crystals. Oops, missed. There we go. Last one. I did not check how much stamina I have left. How many void crystals am I looking at? 68 is pretty good. I'm assuming we're going to like depth 20 or until we've maxed out the void. Research. I don't know. I'm kind of the opinion, growing opinion, while I am finding a lot of incremental games to be a little on the unimaginative side, I do feel like if you're a new developer that has not made a game before, or you're like a fresh developer that wants to do something, kind of strike out on your own, it kind of feels like spending half a year making a quick and dirty but good incremental game is probably one of the better things that you can do to get started. You know, find a gimmick that nobody else has done and then express it to like an interesting degree. I recognize this is probably terrible advice and no developer should like fully listen to me. Make the game you want to make. Don't just chase what Wanderbots says. But I could play an infinite number of these games and probably not get bored of them, as long as they're not asteroids again. If you want to make another asteroids incremental game, good luck. Yeah, missed a couple of times. We still had like 15 energy left. However, we have like almost 100 void crystals. 80. I think we're still going back to the home planet because we want to grab a couple of those upgrades. Deep in my heart, I always knew this would happen, but it hits differently to see a once blinding star reduced to a cold, lifeless rock drifting in space. Despite this, the last remnants of humanity left us with a parting gift. Infrastructure was built to endure long after the star's death. Continuing to support our endeavor, we will press on. Okay. Safe return to previously reached depths. That's kind of good. I mean, it saves me time. Okay, please tell me I don't have all of my old structures, but we've got a decent amount of stuff all the same. Oh, and these are the minerals I have left over. Yeah. So after this, we'll keep all of our progress. Well, since we're not trying to save whatever's left of humanity any further, I guess I can go back whenever I have enough resources. I wonder if you can win. Get things beforehand. Probably not. That I think no matter what, that star was going to run out. I wonder if this game was heavily inspired by Outer Wilds. It probably was. I can't imagine it wasn't. Because that game very much has, well, very similar themes. Let's see. At some point, we're going to slow down here. There we go. At which point we just pop out, buy some upgrades, go back to exploding the Ultra Void. I'm assuming this is one of those that we just trigger another like Big Bang or something like that. Or discover time travel, or something to that extent. It is interesting thinking about the heat death of the universe. Like, it's terrifying. You know, the idea that, like, no matter what humanity does, we are fundamentally doomed. And, like, there's something really existential about that is just, like, you know, what could we do to avert that? Let's see, descend further. I know, like, even on a more local scale, our sun's not going to last forever. Like, eventually, it's going to go supernova or collapse in on itself or something like that. I don't know the full physics of, like, what is possible with our sun, but, you know, there's a couple of possibilities, and they're all expressly terrible for humanity. And so there's kind of the, you know, idea that we need to travel to the stars to kind of be able to... Cripes, I'm getting a lot of resources. Let's go back to the home planet, though. Because I think we keep everything at this point. Let's see, we don't care about the other one. So we have one upgrade left that we cannot see. Yeah, unless there's one I haven't bought yet, or if there's, like, additional layers I can invest into. No, it doesn't look like it. But yeah, so, like, bad things can happen to Earth. Bad things are already happening to Earth, let's be honest here. You know, climate change is a very existential threat to humanity, and the fact that a lot of people don't take it seriously is a terrifying thing. Because, yeah, if humanity cannot live... I guess I should be going for the high-density minerals first, because those give us those sweet laser beams that help me clear things out faster. You know, if we can't get a handle on climate change, like... humanity will probably survive, but the more we shoot ourselves in the foot long-term now for short-sighted greed or, like, I mean, fascism, frankly, the more likely we as a species is just going to be doomed to be stuck on this rock, run out of resources, and then inevitably die off. And there's kind of a comfort in that in terms of, like, but that is kind of our fate anyway. It's just years too early. Or years earlier maybe than we could potentially get to. Because, you know, we could flee to the stars and have other solar systems that are younger than our own to kind of take refuge in, waiting for the heat death of the universe. And maybe there's some way to trigger another Big Bang. Who knows? Though you'd think triggering a Big Bang would probably cause some severe chaos for whoever's left. Okay, so they're maxed. So that's like a ton of damage. Yeah, so I'm assuming we're just going until we hit level 20-ish. Alright. Now that we've cleaned things up dramatically. What do we got for some good spots? I do wonder if splash damage would have actually been useful here. I wish I understood how much, how durable these are. Well, we're at max. Oh, did I might have. Yeah, I don't think I benefit from using splash damage. I was curious if I could, like, break through layers. But it's better to actually just play this as Minesweeper. Because I know where the crystals are. And rather than wasting, you know, energy, stamina, clicking for things that may not exist, better to just play Minesweeper proper and click for things that I do know exist, exactly where I know they are. It'll make my life, yeah, much easier. maybe a little slower, but I have limitless energy for this. But even for the fleeing to the stars thing, there's a lot of people who kind of are in this like weird camp where it's like, well, just because someday our solar system is going to fail us and Earth, you know, won't last for forever, we don't need to really take care of it. It's just here to get us that one step further. That sucks, because it's one of those where it's like, Earth will last us a heck of a lot longer if we actually, you know, manage it well, as opposed to, you know, just abusing it until climate collapse kills us all. You know, could we survive? Maybe, but there's no hope for humanity if everybody's hiding out in bunkers. You know, maybe we could rebuild the world, but, I don't know, every once in a while I encounter an accelerationist who's very much a, like, no, a nuclear apocalypse would be good, or like, you know, kicking humanity back to the Stone Age would be good. They'd learn from our lessons. The answer is like, not really. It's not that humanity is hopeless, it's just there's a third of humanity that is evil. And you have to just kind of shun them into compliance. Okay. I do wonder if I got this up to like level 20 or something. Because yeah, main impact point damage per range expanded. Oh, per range expanded. Wait a second. Maybe I can use the splash damage. Because if I can still pop the crystal, it doesn't really matter if I'm using the splash damage. There we go. Okay. Because it's not that I'm using extra energy here. Okay, the end is nigh. Depth breached. Okay, let's read that note. I can't believe it. There's actually an end to the crust. Our instruments report a total of 24 layers in the Ultravoid's crust, leaving just 4 layers ahead. We still don't know what lies beyond the crust. It might all be a dead end, but for the first time in a long while, I feel genuine excitement. I sense the crew feels it too. Okay. Yeah, I can't afford more, and that's fine. Yeah. Not tough enough. Not tough enough. Not tough enough. There. Yeah, so I can use the splash damage, but it's not great. To go back to my thought of, like, more developers should make micro games like this, I think that's it. It doesn't need to be an incremental game, but I think more developers, especially for their, like, debut products, should find a good micro game to make. Something that, doesn't take too much time or energy to develop, but is still like a viable product on its own that you can sell for a couple of bucks. Kind of as a test of like who you are as a game developer, but then also as a like, can I even crack it as an indie dev? I've known too many developers that shoot for the moon for their first game, fail miserably, and then they're just kind of lost. And that always sucks because like there's some really promising developers out there that just swing and miss with that first game, and they don't have the budget for a second. But then again, I guess a lot of them only have the choice to swing and miss. And that's a downer. I wonder what this game's like if you've never played Minesweeper before. Would you actually be able to... You'd be able to win this, no problem. But would you be able to, like, master it? I don't know. I'm curious about that. If somebody picks this game up and plays it without playing... Minesweeper. But then again, I've explained at least some of the fundamentals, so it might be some of the fundamentals. So maybe this really would have to be somebody... Well, I guess if you're watching this video and you picked this game up before watching my video, and more or less had a crash course in how Minesweeper works, let me know how it kind of felt. Because for me, learning how to Minesweeper was very much going back and playing Demon Crawl a couple years ago. And really enjoying kind of figuring out how to make that work. Unfortunately, I found it to be a slightly frustrating game. Then the AI generated a bunch of portraits, I think using a more like Common Crawl model, but even then, I don't know. I have no patience for that that kind of practice anymore, so I've stepped away from ever covering that game again. Let's see. Where do we want to go from there? If it sounds like I'm talking about this stuff, or even just talking about maybe more real-lifey things more than I used to, I think so much of it is just like I've grown impatient. That I find not talking about these things makes me feel frustrated that I'm muting myself on purpose for largely no reason. So what is this? As the final layer breaks, the crust crumbles away, our instruments go haywire. This ultravoid, once assumed to be a black hole, is anything but. A hidden pathway lies beneath, its destination unknown. There's only one way to find out. We'll take a final restock at our home planet before the journey. Faster than light engine. To traverse the ultravoid safely, technology capable of exceeding light speed is essential, avoiding the destruction by intense gravity. With vast data gathered from the ultravoid and sufficient void crystals, what was once fiction is now reality. Did they time it exactly perfect so that I'd have enough void crystals for that? Or was that just happenstance? I have no idea. In a future so distant it defies comprehension, where humanity endured every conceivable trial, now arrives the heat death, the inevitable silence. Yet humanity lives on. What lies beyond the ultravoid is completely unknown. But humanity will find a way. They always do. As they always do. Time elapsed in Ultravoid. 1 hour and 5 minutes. Well, that was fun. Cute little game. Not really much to it, but it didn't really need it. And yeah, that's it. Anyway, I guess thank you all so much for watching. Ultravoid is available on Steam if you want to play it yourselves. It's $3. It's barely anything, but it's just a nice... a little incremental game to dive into and play around with. And have fun with. Oh, these are the people... This is the guy behind Net Dive that came out last year. I'd meant to play that one, but I'd been busy. Anyway, I guess with all of that said, yeah, if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like. It helps more than you know. And if you want to see more rad new games every single day, hit subscribe, because I got tons more to check out. I'm not going to play more of this game, because I am done for good, but I had a good time with it, and I hope you did too. So for now, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.